Target company we chosen is IBM, International Business Machine Corporation. It is a global technology and consulting company that have various businesses covered several industries. In the span of a century, IBM has developed as a multinational company that has more than 400,000 employees. As human resource serves as crucial competitiveness, it can bring various benefits to the company. IBM attaches great importance to human resource management, such as building its HR management system. The system can record information about IBM staff, such as providing data for the HR department to classify the variables of employee turnover rate. Employee turnover rate is an important index which refers to the employee living the situation. This kind of living is due to the employee's willingness instead of corporations. High employee voluntary turnover rate may influence business level efficiency and generate the loss of firm-specific human and social capital. When core department staff leave, the secret of the company might be leaked, or the reputation can be affected negatively. This project will take IBM as the target company and research the variable influencing factors of employee turnover rate. So why the employee leave? Lots of researchers have identified plenty of factors that affect employee attrition, such as work attrition, training policy, economic force, opportunities in the society, etc. According to the study released by the IBM Institute of Business Value, in marketing and financial department, work attrition are the leading cause for voluntary employee attrition. Work attrition might cover several situations, such as overworking, business travel, and job involvement. In research and development department, 55 employees who are quite likely to quit their jobs because of personal reasons, income, and benefit program. The personal reasons might include distance from home to company, environment satisfaction, and relationship satisfaction. In human resource department, job satisfaction is a essential factor of employee turnover. Job satisfaction could be influenced by challenging tasks and situations. The motivation of this report is to predict whether and why employees will leave the company by using decision tree model. Understand the critical influencing factors of employee turnover rate will bring many benefits to IBM. For instance, it could help IBM reduce employee turnover rate and then reduce many direct costs of employee attrition, such as recruitment costs, employee training costs, and costs needed for new employees to adapt to the post. The primary goal of this paper is to design a model in which IBM could better understand the factors influence employee attrition and therefore manage human resource more efficiently. With outputting the results of influencing factors, our group will do result analysis and performance analysis, which could generate an overview of the critical factors that impact employee turnover rate.
IBM provides a profile including various attributes and data that directly impact on employee turnover. The data can be downloaded from Kaggle. Its files are provided in CSV format. There are 1,470 individual data available on this dataset. The objective variable of the employee turnover dataset is attrition. The dataset contains a total of 1,470 different employee characteristics. As explained in the delimiter, we will analyze 11 major working attributes. Its attributes including attrition, business travel, department, distance from home, education field, job role, marital status, monthly rent, number of companies, overtime, performance rating. Firstly, we set the attrition as target variable, which means employee leaves the company. If the number displayed 0 means the employee leaves the company. If the number displayed 1 means the employee continues work for the company. The second independent variable are business travel, which means the employee process a business trip. If the number displayed 1 means the employee don't have the business trip. If the number displayed 2 means they travel frequently, and the number 3 indicates travel rarely. The third independent variable are department. If the number displayed 1 means the employee works in human resource department. Number 2 shows they devote in research and discovery department. The number 3 indicates working in sales department. The fourth independent variable are distance from home, which shows the distance between workplace and home. This is the numerical values. The fifth independent variable are education field, which represents the education areas of employee, and this is a numerical values. The sixth independent variable are job role. The number from 1 to 9 represents different job title. The seventh independent variable are marital status. If the number displayed 1 means the employee are divorced. Number 2 shows the employee are married, and the number 3 means the staff is single. The eighth independent variable are monthly rent, which represent the income of employee per month, and this is a numerical value. The ninth independent variable are number of companies worked, which represent the number of companies that the employee worked, and this is a numerical values. The eighth independent variable are overtime. If the number displayed 1 means there are no overtime. Number 2 shows the employee have to work overtime. The 11th independent variable are performance rating, which are able to evaluate employee performance and belong to numerical values.
In terms of the explanation of method, we start with setting attrition as the dependent variable because we want to figure out the influential factors lead to employee attrition as well as the characteristics of highly potential churners. In RapidMiner, we use the node called setRow to set up the target variable, which is also the dependent variable, by selecting the attrition as the attribute name and selecting label as the target row. Then we use correlation matrix to decide what attributes we want to select. Before that, we use the nominal to numerical node to transfer the nominal type of attributes into numerical, which is also equivalent to replace the categorical variable with dummy variables so that we can look at the different attributes' influence on the attrition equals yes. In the red box, the number in the red box show that 11 attributes have positive relationship with attrition equal yes, because their correlation coefficient with attrition is positive. Then we can use select attributes node to choose subset for attribute filter type and select 11 out of 34 attributes excluding attribute. Then we compare different models by using compare RCS node. We compare decision tree, naive Bayes, and logistic regression models, and in the graph we can see that The area under decision tree is the biggest among these three models, so we choose the decision tree because it's the most accurate. Then we can use the decision tree node to create the graph. By changing the complexity, in order to change the complexity of the decision tree, we can change the number of maximal depth. The higher the number is, the more leaves the decision tree will have. Finally, we split the data into 70 training set and 30 test set. The 70 partition will become our training set we build our model on, and the remaining 30% will become our test set against which we can compare our model's predictions. After that, we add the apply model node and the performance node to create the confusion matrix so that we can validate the accuracy of the model and analyze the performance of the model.
Here is the result of the decision tree. Among the 11 attributes we input into the analysis, independent variables such as overtime, monthly rate, job role, and distance from work have a significant impact on the target variable, attrition. Firstly, we set the decision tree depth to 6. There are several important nodes. From the first node, it can be calculated that overtime is one of the attributes that directly affect attrition. If the employees work overtime, the next step will be classified according to the monthly rate. When the monthly rate of the employee is less than $26,945, it can be directly judged that the employee chooses to leave the company from this part. And on the other hand, for employees who do not work overtime, the further node affecting their attrition is also the monthly rate. When the monthly price is less than $26,522, it can be judged that the employee will not choose to quit IBM. Is this part? When the monthly rate is more than $26,522, the job role will be another crucial attribute affecting the reason for leaving the company. It can be seen from this figure. When the monthly rate is greater than or equal to $26,522, most employees will not choose to leave the company, but the Human Resources Department will divide it according to the distance from home. When the distance is over 16.5 kilometers, almost half of the Human Resources employees will not choose to leave the company. And also to make the data result more accurate, we also set the depth to the decision tree to 7. Because of the clarity of the picture, we divided the decision tree into 2 parts. This branch is the situation that employees do not work overtime. From this node, it can be seen that except for the distance from home, business travel is also one of the variables related to the turnover. Employees who travel frequently are more likely to leave. And the next part is the branch where employees often work overtime. Besides the factor of month's salary, distance from home is also the main reason affecting the employees' attrition. Overall, analysis by decision tree model, overtime and monthly rate have a significant impact on the target variable attrition. And also secondly, human resources and sales department have a higher turnover rate in IBM. In addition to overtime and monthly rate, business travel and distance from home are also crucial independent variables. They all have a big determinants of employees' turnover. Therefore, IBM needs to do something about its employees. who often work overtime and earn a lower monthly salary. IBM should not only focus on the relevant attributes of employees at work, but also that variables related to life are highly correlated with employees' attrition.
To better understand these attributes we chosen and the correction level of target variables, we process a test analysis which contains all target attributes from previous analysis. Well, to calculate the performance of our model, we read IBM attribution table from database and select attributes then as previous operations. We use split data to divide all the data into 70% weighted training data and 30% weighted prediction data. Then the data will be fed into the decision tree node, which will apply 70% training data to understand and the remaining 30% to predict. Next node is apply model, which can access the result of decision tree. Thus, through performance node, we can select statistical performance which should be evaluated. In terms of IBM attrition case, we decided to apply confusion matrix. The results are as below. First of all, I will introduce the confusion matrix. The metric is often used to analyze the classification model on a set of test data for which the true values are known. The test results will be divided into 4 parts, which is true positive, false negatives, false positives, and true negatives, which can be calculated a ratio that can analyze the performance of the model. The first ratio is the accuracy. Accuracy is the ratio of correct predictions to total predictions made, which is calculated as true positive plus true negative divided the number plus false negative and false positive. So the accuracy of this model will be 77.32%, which means predict that 77.32% of the samples are correct, which is a very high ratio of accuracy.
Well, the next 2 ratios are precision and recall. And in precision and recall ratio calculation, we set no, which means the number of employees who will keep work on their current job as positive class. Well, precision, as called positive predict value, is a fraction of relevant instance among the retrieval instances. The precision is calculated as true negative divided by true positive plus false positive. So as a result, the precision is calculated, the result is 85.71%. Also, the recall, which means the fraction of relevant instances that have been retrieved over the total amount of relevant instances. And the total number of positive class, which is known, is 324, and the remaining 46 samples are yes. Therefore, the recall rate is calculated as 324 divided by 324 plus 46, which equals to 87.57%. The confusion matrix shows that the decision tree model we create can predict the IBM attrition situation in high accuracy, precision, and recall ratio.
In this project, we use the decision tree model to carefully and deeply analyze the IBM employee data and find out the most relevant independent variables affecting the employee turnover rate. Through in-depth analysis, we find out that overtime work and monthly salary as attributes that have a great impact on employee attrition. So IBM needs to pay more attention to those attributes. However, during our project, we still got some limitation. This paper focuses on analyzed data that is about factors influence employee turnover rate. We just select 11 attributes from 30 attributes to decrease overfitting. With all of the 30 attributes being added into the model accuracy will increase. However, this might cause that the model performance perfectly on training data
and performs poorly on new data, because it narrows the predictive analysis to be specific to the present relations of variables. So this is our presentation about IBM.